Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to create a bonus nested window, shutter window, and load it into this family. And also we'll create our door handle. So the best way and the fastest way to create an additional option here is to simply edit your nested family. And then we're going to save this as a new family. So let's call this window shutter and let's call this the glass element. So this would be a shutter with only the glass element in place. So a window shutter glass. And let's save this in here. Now what we need to do is we need to go to our front view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this extrusion here, which is our frame. And I'm going to expand this glass extrusion all the way to the outer boundaries. And I'm going to move this to the left here. Now, as soon as you move it using that arrow symbol, you can notice that we have an error here, which is constraints are not satisfied. You can simply remove constraints. So now you can notice that the constraints get removed on this side and you can lock it in place here. Similarly, we need to do the same here as well. So make sure to remove the constraints and then lock it in place. Perfect. So now you can notice that in our 3D view, we simply have a simple glass shutter, a simple glass window here. And it is parametric in nature as well. We can quickly check that as well. So let's adjust, for example, the shutter height. Yeah, it is parametric in nature as well. Now let's save this file and let's load this into our main family. So I'm going to click on load. And I'm going to load this not into our project, but into our main family. And yeah, we can place this in the right view. So you can tap escape and go to the right view here, which would be the exterior view. Now, before I place it in place, what I would like to do is select the nested shutter families here. So for example, this shutter, and I'm going to associate a visibility parameter for these nested shutters. So I'm going to create a new visibility parameter, call this shutter window with frame. We can also add an asterisk symbol here. So this is option number 1, shutter window with frame. And let's group it under visibility. Make sure it's a type parameter and click on OK. Similarly, this window here as well. So this would be option number 1. Now, before I place my other window here, I would also create some types. So let's go to our family types. So these are the two window types here. Now let's rename these. Let's call this width frame. Here, this one as well. So this would also be called as width frame. Perfect. So we have two windows with frame. And for these two windows, we will keep this switched on. Now we'll create a new type. So this would be, let's say, 4 feet by 5 feet. And this would be without frame. And make sure to switch this off for this type. So let's click on apply. And let's switch on our preview visibility as well. So now you can notice that the element goes away. And that is also because we're using the coarse hue. Let's go to medium. Yeah, so we can notice that our window shutter goes away. Now let's place in our new window. So to place your new window, let's go to create and let's click on component here. Now, in order to place it here, what you need to do is you need to switch to your ground floor. So let's go to our floor plan and then let's place it in place. So let's go to create and click on component. And now you can notice we can place our A window shutter glass. So let's place it on the exterior side and let's lock it in place. So we need to lock it to the midpoint of our frame. So our midpoint is here. So I'm going to use the align tool, tap tab key, click on the reference plane. And then what you need to do is select the midpoint of a glass shutter. So let's select the midpoint of a glass shutter and then lock it in place. Perfect. Now we need to select our glass shutter, click on edit type and associate the width parameter as well. So this would be the shutter width. And let's click on OK. Click on apply and click on OK. And then we should lock it to the reference plane here on the left. So I'm going to lock it in place as well. Perfect. What we also need to do is adjust the height. So let's adjust the height as well, the shutter height. So this would be the shutter height and the sill height as well. So the sill height would be the default sill height. Let me just quickly, or we can lock it in place. That would be better. We do not have to associate the sill height. Perfect. Let's quickly go to our exterior view. So you can notice that it's a bit down. So we need to lock it in place. Let's move it up using the shift key and the up arrow. Use AL, which is the align tool, and then lock it in place. Perfect. So we've locked our window frame here. And then we need to copy this over to the other side. Let's use the mirror tool, draw axis. Make sure copy is switched on and let's mirror it to the other side. Perfect. And now what we need to do is, of course, lock it in place. So I'm going to lock it to our mid plane there. And I'm going to also lock it here. And I'm also going to go to my exterior view. And I would need to lock it to our bottom plane here. Perfect. Let's quickly check if this is parametric or not. Let's go to type 1, for example, and let's click on apply. Boom. You can notice that our window frame shutter also changes. What we also need to do is select these shutters and associate a new visibility parameter. So this would be option number 2, and this would be shutter window without frame. And click on OK. In case you forgot to change the group of that parameter, you can simply go to your family types and you can notice that it stays here. So let's change this to the visibility group so that it falls under the visibility group. Perfect. I need to do the same for this shutter as well. Let's associate this to a shutter window without frame and click on OK. Perfect. So now when I go to my 3D view, we have two windows. We have one window without the frame and one window with the frame. Now, in case you'd like to see the changes, you'll need to switch on preview visibility in 3D as well. So we have two nested families in this main family. We have a shutter window without frame and we have a shutter window with frame. And finally, we can load this into our project as well. So let's load this into our project. Overwrite the existing version. And now you can notice we see our window frame in the plan view. That is because we do not adjust the visibility parameter for our window frame. So that is another step that we missed. So simply select this window, click on visibility, and make sure it is switched off in course view. What we also need to do is we need to go to our family types and check our family types once again. So for type 1, we do not want to see our shutter window without frame here. Similarly for type 2 as well. And for type 3, I would only like to see the shutter window without frame. Perfect. All right, so I made some changes to the family types as well. Now let's load this into our project and we can close this file as well. Yeah, so we'll need to load this into our project. We can save this file. And this time what you need to do is you need to select the second option, override the existing version and its parameter values. All right, so we have some additional types here. So you can notice as soon as I change the type, that additional window frame goes away, the additional window in our family. So we have some extra types and the other types we would need to delete. So let's go to our family here, search for window. And under MPS, we have our old types. So we can delete these old types from our project. Perfect. All right, so now we've created a perfect family. You can notice that we can adjust the sill height as well since it was an instance parameter. Now to quickly explain the difference between type and instance parameters, I will copy this window over to this side. So let's select the window, click on the copy tool, and let's copy it over to this side. Now when it is a type parameter, you can notice that these two are the same type. This is 4 feet by 4 feet. And this window is 4 feet by 4 feet as well. Now, let me copy this over one more time just to make you guys understand this concept better. So we have 3 types and all 3 are the same type. So if you select this window, it's 4 feet by 4 feet. This is 4 feet by 4 feet with frame, and this is 4 feet by 4 feet with frame. Now, what happens when I change some of the settings here? If I go to edit type, and let's say, for example, I will change the rough width to 3 feet just for demonstration purpose. And I'm going to click on apply. So you can notice as soon as I click on apply, it automatically changes in all 3 instances of the same type. So those were the type parameters, which means that when you change the value for one type, it would automatically change for the same or the similar type. But when you create an instance parameter, even if it is of the same type, you can adjust the instance of that element individually. In this case, we have our sill offset as an instance, which means I can adjust this sill offset individually for each window. So in this case, I can keep this set at a 0, the sill offset set to 0. In this case, I can keep it about 1 inch from the wall. And in this case, I could keep it about 2 inches. So you can notice that even though they are the same types, since the sill offset was an instance parameter, I can adjust them individually for the window. So I hope you understood the difference between type and instance parameters. You would understand it better as we go through the course, so you do not have to worry if in case you did not understand it. To give you guys a quick analogy, so the type parameters are like the blueprint. For example, every chair has the same height, the same color, and the same leg type. But so that would be the type parameters. And the instance parameters are like putting a name tag or a sticker on each chair. So each one is uniquely labeled. So that would be, for example, chair 1, chair 2, chair 3, for example. I hope that analogy works. I hope you can go through this video again and then you would understand the difference between type and instance parameters as well. So let me just quickly revert back to 4 feet. So I'm going to quickly revert back to 4 feet. Click on apply and click on OK. So you can notice the instance for each element remains the same and the width changes equally for all 3 windows. So those were the type parameters and the instance were the sill offset. So I'm going to delete these 2 windows here and leave this window as is. And in this case, it was 4 feet. It was actually 5 feet by 5 feet. Perfect. So we've covered much more than we started out with. And we've created a very advanced Revit window family. As homework, what you guys can do is you can create your own family type and you can use the concepts that you learned so far to make it a very parametric and advanced window family. I would love to see your work in the assignment section as well. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next video. We can go further with our project now. We have created some of our windows. We'll place all of these windows in place and we will create the rest of the house for our project. So I'll see you guys next video. Cheers.